This is a Dragon Ball Z game that everyone forgot about. Although this is a relic in time, I was able to get my hands on it from a witch in exchange for my dog Bo's soul. So nothing really was lost, and I think I still got the better end of the deal. Sorry, Bo, but you ain't going to be seeing any dog bones where you're going. Okay, so let's jump right into it. This is Dragon Ball Z Sagas. The game was released in 2005 on multiple platforms: PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. This game came out when Dragon Ball Z was the horror of the gaming industry and was being passed around like your grandma back in her youth by Bandai Namco. I wanted to play with the version that pushed the graphics to the limit, so I decided to play on the GameCube version. Okay, to start off with, did the game age well? No. This game is probably one of the worst to come out in the Dragon Ball universe of games. The Budokai series is far better. However, I played this game when I was a kid, so replaying it, I got a huge overdose of nostalgia. So, although I played the game thinking that if someone who had never played this game before, they would probably end up using the game disc to cut their crack with instead, rather than actually playing the game. I had an extremely fun time playing this game. One thing that I think made my experience better than your common gamer is that I played with my brother, and having someone to play with you and laugh at the things in the game helped significantly, especially in this game circumstance. So let's jump into the gameplay. The gameplay that the developers decide to do for Dragon Ball Saga is a beat 'em up style game. On paper, having a Dragon Ball game that revolves around mindlessly beating up enemies sounds like the perfect wet dream. However, the execution was terrible. When you are pressing the button, the hits come out all clunky and it looks like the characters have to take a shit while they are fighting. There is a progression system where you could upgrade your moveset or abilities, but they give you upgrades that I feel you should start off the game with. For example, the one of the upgrades is the ability to fly fast. Whoever thought of that should be moved from the developer room back to the crack house. Okay, so let's jump into the story. So, like any other Dragon Ball Z game, this one was back then. So, back in the early 2000s, most Dragon Ball Z game story just followed the anime. So this one does the same thing, follows the original story from the anime. You go through multiple stages that starts at the Sane Saga and then at the Cell Saga. But one thing I could say that benefits the game greatly is that each stage does feel unique to that stage because each stage has a end boss battle, and it kind of cool because most games, nowadays you do common missions and then the boss fight, but in this game it was like you could see the ideas of Cuphead in it, you could say. And I'm not comparing it to Cuphead, I'm just saying you could see that concept of where every mission has a boss battle. Okay, so and other thing that this game stands out on is the soundtrack. Whoever made the soundtrack deserves a huge applause. If anything, it sucks that the soundtrack was put into a game that is so forgettable like this one, and not put up there with the great soundtracks in video game history like 21 Savage album. So this game has cutscenes, but they are in anime form or animation like style. For example, listen to this cutscene.
The final showdown. After witnessing the destruction of Android 16, Gohan's rage ignites, and in an explosion of raw power, he ascends to a new height of Super Saiyan strength. In this anger-fueled state, Gohan obliterates the army of Cell Jr., then sets his sights on their cruel master, Perfect Cell.
Okay, doesn't that just make you want to jump and like, it's just a great theme. And then the way they play the soundtrack over it, great. So listening to the music also like makes you want to go out and fight a group of thugs that are probably going to beat the shit out of you. Okay, and one of the final things that I like to say is the content in the game. So I would say there isn't a lot because one cool thing is there is a variety of characters, but you get all these characters after you beat the game, which sucks because after you beat the game the first time, if you have if you're a normal person or haven't been hit with me with nostalgia, you're probably not gonna replay it. So I would say Dragon Ball Z Sagas. Is it a game that should be completely forgotten? No, because there are some great elements like the soundtrack and the cutscenes. Some of the ideas they had, the boss in every stage. But other cons are the clunkiness. It felt like a rush game, like they were just shitting out Dragon Ball Z games at the time. And yeah, okay, so that is my summary and review of Dragon Ball Z Saga. If I had to rate the game, I'll give it a 5. For me personally, a 5. It's not bad to. I could see the bad, but also I could see the good, so I gotta put it at 5. Maybe for a average person, 3, but for me, 5. And I think that's a good rating for that game, for what it tried doing at the time. And that's it. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace.